You know, every great venture, every successful project, it always starts with that spark, that brilliant idea. But let's be real. How do you turn that spark into an actual success? Well, the secret is having a plan, a really solid strategic blueprint. And today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to build one together.
So you've got this amazing idea, right? That's awesome. But honestly, the most important question you can ask comes right after that. Who is this for? I mean, who is really going to love this thing? Who's going to buy it? Who's going to tell their friends about it? Answering that one question, that is the first real step to building something that actually lasts.
And the answer to that big question, it lies right here in creating what we're calling a market blueprint. Seriously, think of it just like an architect's plan for a new building. It guides every single decision, it makes sure your foundation is solid, and it's what turns your vision into something that can stand tall, especially in a super crowded landscape.
Okay, let's dive into step one. First things first, we have to survey the land. I mean, it makes sense, right? Before you can even think about building anything, you have to understand the environment you're in, the terrain, the neighborhood, and just how much potential the plot of land you've chosen really has.
And right away, this brings up a huge, critical shift in your mindset. Do you see your business from a product point of view, as in we sell water park tickets? Or do you see it from a market point of view? We sell a fun day out for families. See the difference? One just describes what you make. The other, the much more important one, describes the benefit your customer actually gets. And trust me, that little shift in perspective, it changes everything.
Once you're thinking that way, it helps you grasp the idea of market potential. You can think of it as the total size of the land you could possibly build on. It's the absolute maximum level of demand, the biggest your market could possibly be if everything went perfectly.
But, it's really important to distinguish between two things here. There's the potential market, that's everyone who could theoretically buy from you. And then there's the current market, that's who's actually buying right now. And that space, the gap between those two, that's your opportunity. That's the undeveloped land just waiting for your blueprint.
And, markets, they're a lot like neighborhoods. They evolve over time. They start with an introduction phase, then they hit a rapid growth spurt, eventually they reach maturity, and yeah, some might even face a decline. Knowing which stage your market is in is so key because it completely changes your strategy. Are you trying to build awareness, capture a piece of that growth, or defend your spot? It all depends on where you are in the life cycle.
All right, let's move on to step 2 and see how this all connects. So we've surveyed the land, we understand the environment, now it's time to figure out who exactly you're building for. It's time to find your people.
This quote just nails it perfectly. Think about it. You have limited resources, your time, your money, your energy. If you try to be everything to everyone, you often end up being nothing special to anyone. The real goal here is to focus all your efforts to create the biggest possible impact with a very specific group.
And the way we do this is through a process called segmentation, and it's actually a pretty clear 3-step deal. First, you identify the criteria you're going to use to slice up the market. Second, you group customers into these different segments based on those criteria. And finally, you build out a profile for each segment so you can really truly understand who these people are.
And the criteria you use? Well, they can be super diverse. You can use simple demographics like age or gender. You could look at resource-based factors like income, or maybe value-related things like lifestyle. You could even use behavioral data like how often someone buys something. These are basically the tools in your toolbox for drawing the lines and defining your groups.
So once you've created all these different segments, you come to a really critical decision. That decision is called targeting. This is the moment you plant your flag in the ground and you declare this group right here, this is our audience. These are the people we are going to serve and serve better than anyone else.
And once you've picked your people, that's when you get to what I think is the most creative and exciting part of the entire blueprint, designing the unique promise you're going to make just for them.
This promise, it's called your value proposition. And look, it is not just a list of features. It's the unique bundle of benefits that answers your customer's most important question, why should I choose you over all the other options? It's the absolute core of the connection you're going to build with your audience. But what kinds of benefits actually make people happy? What creates real satisfaction? Well, there's a brilliant framework for this that comes from a researcher named Noor, who had this incredible insight that not all benefits are created equal.
Okay, so let's break down this table because it's so good. Kano pointed out 3 types of factors. First, you have the basic factors. These are the absolute minimum requirements, the things people just take for granted. Like having a comfortable seat in a movie theater, you just expect it. If it's not there, you're annoyed, but when it is there, you don't exactly cheer about it. Second, there are performance factors. These have a direct linear effect. The more you give, the happier people get. Think faster Wi-Fi. And finally, and this is where the magic happens, you have excitement factors. These are the unexpected surprises that delight people and create true, loyal fans.
And this framework helps you understand how to stand out from the crowd. Your points of parity are the features you absolutely must have just to be in the game. You can think of these as your basic factors from Kano's model. They're the cost of entry. But your points of difference, that's what makes you unique and special. These are your excitement factors, and they are the reason customers will choose you every single time.
So, how does this all come together? How do we take this plan, this blueprint that's on paper, and turn it into a living, breathing reality? Let's talk about that. The thing to remember is that your market blueprint isn't some document you create once and then you're done. No way. It's a continuous cycle. You survey the land, you find your people, and you make your promise. But then you build and adapt. And maybe most importantly, you listen and you learn from your market, which, guess what? It starts the whole cycle all over again.
If there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. A great blueprint is never finished. It is not carved in stone. It has to be a living document that evolves and adapts right alongside your market and your customers' needs as they shift.
So there you have it. You've seen the steps, you have the framework, your market blueprint is ready to go. Now the only real question left is, what will you build?